Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Mumu. Today we're going to be doing a personal piece. It's something that I gifted for my mom for her birthday, I believe. I think it was her birthday. This is actually a pretty selfish art gift from me because it's something that I wanted to do both for myself and for her. It's actually also another big undertaking I took because I decided to do a background involved. So the reason why this is a personal piece because this is a Kalmyk scenery and I'm Kalmyk. You could look it up, I guess, but it's my culture and everything, so this really meant a lot to me because it's something in a way, not like I lost it. I've always felt in touch with my traditions, my roots and everything, but sometimes it just feels like there's a missing part. So being able to draw this and gift it to my mom for her birthday was a really huge thing for me. It was also very pressuring because I don't do a lot of landscape, at least during this time period, and it was basically something I didn't want to fail at because it's so close to home. It means a lot to me, and I wanted to really convey it to her how much it all flows together for me and her. So as you can see, I already am putting out sketches, singing out how I want to see the scenery. This scenery itself that I'm doing is actually really, really special to me because this is a scenery mixed with an actual location that I've been to. My mom recognized it right away, so that was like total bonus points. But basically, it's a scenery that has a very old tree. The only tree in the vicinity. I didn't draw it because this is where you're kind of standing and you look out, and this is what you see. And this tree has never been struck by lightning or caught fire because that's what tends to happen there when it's very dry season and everything. So this scene is also very special because that was the last time I got to see my uncle before he passed away from cancer, and it means a lot for both me and my mom. So that's why this is a very selfish art gift, because it's not only for her but it's also for me, and that it's a very personal piece, which is why I did want to tackle the fact that I'm doing background and try my very, very best to bring out the piece in itself. That's why I started to do like sketching background first to see how I'll layer it, and then I put the people in. All of this is a whole thing that makes it very personal in my own way, how the lighting falls, how I decide to choose the colors. I also decided to draw a few tulips, as you saw in the sketch, because tulips is our national flower that grows wildly in our region, and it's something that's I'm proud of, because tulips were once almost gone, almost went to extinction back in the day, but it still survived where I'm from, where I grew up. So I thought it was really important to draw it and show the natural beauty of our little region. So that's why I decided to incorporate everything I love and everything that my culture means to me. Obviously, it's not fully everything, but it's everything I could put in an art piece at that time period. And this was very, very special because it's both a gift for her, but it was also a reflection of who I am. And that's like a huge part of being an artist for me, because sometimes you want to be able to find things that represent you as a person, and a lot of times, sometimes I just don't find it. And that's why I decided to do, like, if I'm gonna draw or do art, follow my dreams and passion, I want there to be a reflection on me. See, here you see there are two people, both male and a female. The way their poses are actually our traditional dancing. but I decided to scrape it and kind of just only have the female, because not because I have anything fully against the males or the male anatomy. It's more like it's not like I have anything against the male anatomy. It's more like this image is more of a representation of me and my mom, and she was a single mother raising me as a child. So for me, an embodiment of a powerful woman, I wanted to show to her through this gift, to show both the reflection of her and I in it, so it's able to convey more of who we are together through this female that we're drawing. Here I did a color check through grayscale to see what pops, what doesn't. It's really hard sometimes to figure out, because sometimes in grayscale it pops really nice, and then sometimes when you go back to color, it's like, is it too dark, is it not too dark? Especially when you're not used to backgrounds, I kind of get lost with how things should be, how much depth there should be. But overall, I do like the feel and flow. I'm trying to show a breeze throughout this background because it does get windy most of the time. Even in the summer, the winds get super, super intense, and you can get sandstorms because that's just how it is. So I'm just trying to tackle background first to make sure it's all looking good how I want it to do, and then I will approach the female and try to make her blend with the whole illustration. At the same time, I'm trying to put like little details here and there, but at the same time, so the reason why I decided to do that is because usually what I used to do is I was kind of do the background, leave parts blank because I knew the person or the object would cover it, so it won't be fully noticeable. So I thought, why even put that extra work in? But then I realized sometimes if you really want an image to properly connect, you want to have a fully finished background. Like, don't be lazy. Like, this was tips for myself. Like, don't be lazy. You could do it. Yes, it's more work. Yes, it's more time. But this is something you want for yourself, for your art process to get better. And from there, I just decided to challenge myself more and more on it, because I was like, this isn't like, why cheat yourself out of the learning process when you could just do it? So I decided to just completely do the whole background, because sometimes like you do the background and you can have that unfinished patch, but what if you want to move your subject? Then you'll have to repaint it anyway. So that's what happened. Like here, I originally, as you can see, I have 2 of them, but like I said, I'll eventually don't go in to do the male. I just stay with the female, and then I start to readjust where she goes. And that's the main thing, is like I was really happy that I actually did do the whole background, because no matter how I would move her, it was still complete, and you didn't have to feel like different places were missing, or they were just colored in and not unison or uniformed, or didn't complement each other in a way. So as you can see, I'm just going over my sketch, figuring it out to see what I really want, as well as the details to bring out. So this is kind of like a little hard, because this is a national traditional costume, and we don't have like one set color. No, we go whatever color you want. It could be blue, red, yellow, anything, green. There's so many colors that are used, but there's certain things that stand out to make it our traditional clothing, such as like, it could be a hat, it can have little pom-poms, it could not. It all depends on you. The braid should be usually put together and everything. And then you have the front and then a belt on the bottom. That's how it is. And there's many different designers that actually know what they're doing. I kind of referenced some here and there, but I always tend to stick to the traditional color, which for me is red, because it reminds me of the red tulips. I do like yellow, but for me sometimes playing with the yellow color is hard because I don't know if I'm hitting the right yellow that I personally want. It's like when people were making the Beauty and the Beast dress, and it was like, you have to have the perfect yellow, it has to be the perfect gold or whatever. For me, it's like that with yellow and gold as well, because it has to shine a special way. But red is actually something that I'm more comfortable in, and I thought I'd be able to do a way better job at it. So that's why I stuck to comfort there. Also, I think I was going lineless here, and I don't do many lineless. So because I don't do many lineless, I wasn't fully confident to also go into a color that I wasn't confident in, because I also have a traditional dress, but it's blue, and blue is my favorite color, and I thought, yes, it would look beautiful, but I thought with this background and everything, the red would just synchronize better. And sticking closer to, like, I'm already challenging myself on background, I'm already challenging myself in lineless, so I thought might as well just stick to one comfort and let that be the color red. So that's kind of how I approach my art process. Is if I'm challenging myself, I'm gonna find little things that I take comfort and ease in, so that I'm not completely stressing out over the piece, so that there's something that I could be like, okay, you're fine, you're doing good. Always look towards little things that de-stress the situation so you could still enjoy it. So this is where she is, and I was like really feeling it and loving it and putting in little details such as beads and everything on top of her like hair. Everything was kind of just like, I absolutely love how it came out, like the whole traditional piece. It's still not finished yet. You are gonna see the whole like color balance towards the end, like a really quick how I color balance it, and then the final piece. But I gotta say, like, my mom loved it. It was a selfish art gift, completely selfish, because it was a lot of it was for myself, but also it was also for her, because she always said how she wanted an art piece to represent our culture. She wanted like lotuses and things like that. I wasn't great at drawing that, especially traditionally yet. So I decided to gift this to her as a digital gift, but I printed it and I framed it, and she absolutely loved it. It's because it was something she and I both take pride in, is coming from a small community, like super small, and being able to bring out that loyalty. I don't know the right word, but I just absolutely loved how it turned out. I'm putting it a lot in grayscale because I really don't want her to kind of like not pop, but then again, I was still learning grayscale and how to really play with colors. It's still something very new for me. So at the end of the day, I was glad with how things turned out. I wish the tulip in front of the dress didn't kind of blend in as much as it did, because when I did print it, it didn't stand out as how I wanted it. But I don't know, it's just something that comes with time and skills. Like, you could see it looks fine, it's not that bad, but like I said, it's a learning process, it's a learning curve. I didn't want it to make it completely black either. Like, there are black tulips, but not where I grew up. So this was a piece that kind of like, I did my all-time best, and I'm honestly feel like I didn't disappoint myself, and I didn't disappoint how it turned out. So I was really happy that both my mom liked it, and I was really proud of myself how everything kind of came together. I even did her makeup, like with her eyes and everything, to make everything stand out, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys also enjoying it. The whole process, seeing me go from sketch to a whole background and her beautiful like her and dress and everything. The pose is a lot more it's meant to show basically her, it's kind of hard to describe because she was technically supposed to be with a partner, but in my way, me removing it didn't make it seem like a bad pose still. and I kind of really love the fact that she's able to be like, you know, like humbled and still sweet about it. I don't know, I personally liked it, like how she came out, and everything just looked good to me. At that point in time, I was just really, really happy. Like, the only thing that I said that I wish I could change was maybe how to pop the flower in front of the dress more, because it does look like it's kind of blending in a little too much, and that was my only big issue for it, was how it's just together like that. But basically, this is how most of it just ends, and I kind of try to do a little detail here and there. Obviously it's not perfect, but I do really like how it came out. Little hints of yourself is kind of what gives that flavor. That was the final image. I did change the color a little, I made it more warmer. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Please check out the new videos coming out. It's gonna be super fun. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all of that good stuff if you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye!